Hi everyone, welcome back. This is week 65 of my social isolation get ready with me's. I'm continuing with the month of rainbow looks for Pride Month, and I was sent a package by QUO that has some rainbow goodies in it that we're going to be using today. So inside the box, which I'm never throwing this out, like, hello, we have, let's see here, some palettes. We have a sponge, which I've already dampened. Looks like a rainbow. How perfect is that? So that was in this. We have a little love headband, a palette, which let me show you this because this is the thing I'm the most excited about. It's called the Love is Love palette by QUO, and it's cardboard packaging, which is my favorite. And then we've got an array of rainbow shades in here. They're not all matte, some of them are shimmery, and we're gonna be using this today. We've also got some rainbow lashes, which I'm gonna see how these are gonna go. I'm a little bit worried they're gonna look a little bit wacky, but we're gonna see if we can make these work. And then they've also sent along some colorful eyeliners here, which I'm not sure I'm gonna be using these, but it's good to know that they have them. So the QUO Pride collection, to my knowledge, is out available now at Shoppers Drug Mart. QUO is their home brand. So if you're looking for any of these products, be sure to check out the drugstore. Obviously only available in Canada because that's the only place that Shoppers Drug Mart is. So let's dive into this because I've got an idea for what I'm gonna do and I hope it's gonna work out. Also, I'm wearing a little shirt with a unicorn on it. Taste the rainbow. Get it? The unicorn is licking the rainbow. So you may have noticed, or may not have, that I took last week off. I had the week off of work, and frankly, I just didn't feel like filming videos. I just wanted time to, frankly, play World of Warcraft. From the time I woke up till the time I went to bed for a week straight. I know I'm at home all the time, and there's always something to be said for, well, you could have done it if you wanted. Yeah, but I didn't want to. Just wanted a little bit of a break. Which is bad timing in my eyes too, because I really like doing these rainbow looks, and I took like a week off during like the best month of the year. But yeah, it's Sunday now, and I can't believe I've had a full week off. It feels like time has just flown by. It's really disappointing. It was like Friday, and I think I was saying to my husband, I'm like, how is it Friday already? How have we had an entire week off? And the notion of going back to work on Monday is not appealing. I think it's just really compounded by the fact that I'm sick of working from home. I hate it. I just hate it. I know I've been mentioning this continuously for the last year, but my God, I hate working from home. I miss seeing people. On that note, though, they seem to be speeding up the rate at which people are getting their second doses of the COVID vaccine. So I'm hopeful that I'm able to get my second one fairly soon. It's booked currently for like September, but that's too far away. Plus it kind of coincides, unfortunately, with a trip that we're supposed to take to Norway and Sweden in September, which I'm kind of up in arms about. I don't really know what to think. Even if I had the second COVID shot vaccine, is it safe to travel? And would I want to go to a country where stuff may still be on lockdown and I can't experience it the way I would want to experience it? Like, right now, I feel completely uncomfortable with, like, international travel. I don't even feel comfortable going to the next city over. But I don't know if that's an unrealistic way to feel or if it's just like, yeah, you should still be trying to stay safe and stay at home. How do people feel about travel right now? So let's say that you have both shots of the vaccine done. How do you feel about travel? Because like about 6 months ago, I was super angry at everybody who was going on vacation anywhere, leaving their home. Now I'm kind of like, well, should I relax my feelings towards it? I don't know. Oh, one thing to note, remember that nose pain I had? A few people commented on it that maybe I had like sinusitis or something like that. I don't really have sinus problems. But the pain went away, just like randomly. It took about a week. It like traveled to the right side of my nose and then kind of just disappeared. So like now it's fine. But my God, I could not touch my nose with even a sponge before. It was painful. Oh, one thing before I start the makeup, because I don't want to randomly start crying, I guess, while I'm doing my makeup. Nemo is back to a stage 3 kidney disease diagnosis. We took him back in for his 6-month checkup about a week or two ago, and they did all the tests on him, and they said that he's back to stage 3. So he's slightly anemic. His kidney function is not doing very good, but he's eating well. Like, he's plumpy. Guy's put on some weight, which is great. I love me some fat cats. But it's stage 3. which is not the stage 4 that we were at before, but I am still very much like, what else can we be doing? So, I mean, we've been giving him fluids every other night as instructed by the doctor. I've been giving him all his medications, all that. But now they've upped it to 75 mils every day in the hopes that it will help his kidney functions, because it has to flush out what his kidney isn't doing. And he's got a lot of kidney stones apparently. So I'm pretty upset about it. That's probably part of the reason I didn't want to film last week too. I'm dealing with it okay right now, actually, in talking, but I don't know how to deal with the fact that I may lose my pet at some point. And just saying that, I'm like, oh, I've never had to deal with it. So I'm struggling with it, because every day I think about it, right? Like pretty much every day since he was about 5 years old, I'm like, oh my God, what if I lost you? Like, you know what I mean? Like one day I know you're not going to be here, and I'm not going to know how to deal with it. Okay, let's try to do some makeup. The Love is Love palette. I want to do something interesting with the eyes. I want to do like a cut crease with a rainbow effect up here, white on the lid with some glitter, and then those lashes, which I put back in the box here, over top of the white part so that they actually show up. So that's what we're gonna do today. Okay, so I was gonna try to stick with just the mattes for this, but there's two colors that I can't really get away from the shimmers from. Like the green here is shimmery, and so is the darker purple. So this is gonna be a mix of shimmers and mattes. I'm gonna start with Pride right here on a small, somewhat fluffy brush. And I'm gonna start right in here. And again, I'm gonna be doing a cut crease. So mostly what I wanna do is make the crease a rainbow, and then I'll cut it out with some concealer. But I can be kind of messy because I don't have to be worried too much about going too low, because I'll use the concealer to clean it up afterwards. And I'm taking it pretty far in because I gotta fit a lot of colors on. Okay, then I'm going in with Equality here. Putting that right beside. I think I'm bringing that too far. Okay, do smaller sections of color. One thing to keep in mind too, like I've got hooded lids. Like if I look directly at you, you can't see my lid at all. So I'm trying to keep it above that area. Always like try to, when you're doing this, like I do my makeup with my eyebrows like up so I can pull the skin a little bit and see better. But keep in mind that you've got to open your eyes, look straight at your mirror to figure out where the exact placement is, because this hood like completely covers over my lid most of the time. Man, I wish I had more of these little brushes because I'd like to use a clean one every time I go into a color, but I don't. This is a Real Techniques one. It's called the shading brush. It's like the perfect size for right in here. Okay, next I'm going in with Unite, the green. That's a little bit pale. I might have to put Proud on top of it, which is the darker green. Yeah, let's try to put some of that on. So that's this one here, just a little bit. That helped, but there's definitely a blue cast to that green. So I'm gonna have to go back over with Unite to make it a little bit paler. So back in with Unite here, just to place that on top, make it brighter. Yeah, there we go. For yellow, I'm gonna have to go in with a different brush because yellow is one of those colors that can get soiled pretty easily. So I'm using another Real Techniques one. This one's a little bit bigger than I want, but we'll see. So Truth is the yellow here. That's pretty pigmented. All right. And just putting that there. I'm gonna end up having to like wing this out to fit all the colors. And then next is orange. I'm gonna take Love Wins here. Oop, there we go. And then lastly, Vogue, which is the red up here. And this I'm gonna take and like sweep it upwards a little bit. Kind of like a little swoosh. I definitely could have made these segments in here not so big because I'm kind of crowding myself for space out here. Okay, so now I want to take the upper section here and kind of like smudge it out a little bit because it's a little bit too harsh. So I'm going to start with my Wet n Wild Brûlée eyeshadow and this brush that I always use for my brow bone. I'm hoping that's going to do it without interfering too much with the colors, but we'll see. So just tap it in there and then try to blend the edge of that. I'm not sure if that did much, to be honest. Okay, now for the part I fear every time I do this. I'm going to try to cut my crease and make this a clean edge with some concealer. I'm just using the Mary Kay Perfecting Concealer in the shade Light Ivory. And I'll be using a flat brush for that. I just put some of it on the back of my hand. And get it on the brush. Not too much. And cut this. Ooh, that is so much paler than my eye. Oh, I say this every time I do this, but I've got such wobbly eyelids that I end up like these bumps in the concealer, which is not the best look. I think I need a stiffer brush. That one was a little bit too floppy, so I'm using something stiffer here. Some people have like perfect eyelids for this. It's like their eyelid is like flat and not wobbly. I always have a problem with this. And I'm doing this kind of shape because I'm going to connect a winged liner here. And it doesn't really need to go past that. Okay, so before that dries, I'm going to go in with an INGLOT pigment, which is just pure white. The shade on this is 35. It's a body pigment, and it is just absolutely bone white. And I'm going to pack this on top of the concealer just to set everything in place. And obviously it's falling out. Because I'm going to put some glitter on top of this, but I just really want a white base for this. Okay, so I've got my base on. It looks a little bit bizarre. But before I go on with the glitter, I'm going to put some wing eyeliner on, and I'm going to basically take it along this line and drag it down and then swoop it across my lid. Okay, that is probably the biggest wing liner I've ever done in my life. Now for the glitter. So of course, using my Too Faced glitter glue to put it in place, I'm going to be using the INGLOT, I think these are the Body Crystals. Yeah, Body Sparkles in the shade 105, which has a little bit of a silver kick to it. These are kind of little flaky things. They're not exactly glitter. They're more like chunks, which sounds super unappealing, but it actually adds a really nice texture to looks as opposed to just like, you know, circular glitter. So I'm gonna put the glitter glue, which is on the back of my hand, over the white. Oh, this brush is too big. Over the white, because that's where the sparkles are going to be going. And I'm bringing it into the inner corner because I want some sparkle in there too. Okay, yeah, I'm liking how that turned out. And I'm hoping by doing this, it's going to help these lashes actually show up. Because before I was like, they're going to get lost in no matter what look I do, but I'm hoping the white helps them accentuate the color, and as will the top part here too. For mascara, I'm going to be using the Tarte Surfer Curl mascara. I have a mini sample size here from Sephora. I really like this. The brush is small, which I always appreciate, and the formula seems to be really good. I've been using some duds lately where the brushes are just too big for my eyes, and I haven't been enjoying it, but this one has been really nice. Okay, now for the rainbow lashes. So I'm hoping these don't destroy the look, because normally with something like this, I want like super dark black lashes. But these look fun and I want to give them a shot. So I'm first gonna see how big they are, because I think they're gonna need trimming. But I don't want to trim too much because then I lose part of the rainbow. Those are enormous. They are they're above my eyebrow. Maybe I should like trim them, but like cut the lashes down. Okay, I'm going to try to, well, first of all, here's what I point out. They're all the same sort of length, right? So I'm going to try to like trim these down here so that it's more of a like a cat shape on the end. I hope this works. I think I've instead managed to give myself some sort of weird peacock eye. Okay, I'm gonna resort to my normal type lashes. I think these are neat in concept. I mean, I haven't worn them yet. I just find them a little bit too large overall. If they have more of a style, I think they'd be a little bit better. Yeah, I feel better with black lashes. I just don't think maybe colorful lashes are for me. Okay, let's move on to the face and kind of zoom through it a little bit, because believe it or not, I've already been filming for 50 minutes. That's how long it took me to do these eyes, okay? You guys see a cut down version, but yeah, it was pretty slow to get these done. Okay, so for foundation, I've realized that the ones that I was wearing are still too dark for me, so I'm trying to bring the color down a little bit. I'm gonna start with the Revlon Colorstay in the shade 150. It's the shade Buff. I think it's gonna be a little bit too light, so I'll mix in some 200 Nude if I need to. Yeah, sometimes when I rewatch as I'm editing, I can see that like the color here is too dark, and I'm like, oh, darn. Meanwhile, I thought it looked okay while I was filming. So let's try 150 right off the bat and see if that's okay. I'm using that colorful rainbow sponge from QUO. Oh, what did I just do to my neck? Did I just scratch my nail down there? Shoot. Okay, let's see. Is this fine on its own? It might be. Oh, it's funny, when I squish this together, I can feel like the color layers where they were fused together. I think my beauty blender has finally given up the ghost. I've been using that, I don't know, 2-3 years straight, and it's finally starting to shred a little bit. I wash it frequently enough, but I think it's time to finally retire that beauty blender. I know I've been saying this for a few years now, but I was a huge Real Techniques fan, thinking that beauty blender was ridiculously overpriced for just a sponge. And in hindsight, considering a beauty blender costs you $25 but lasts for 2 or 3 years, I think that's a good deal. But I've got a huge backstock of Real Techniques sponges to get through, so I'll be using those until they wear out, which honestly is pretty fast. I feel like those die within a month or two. And then I'll definitely be hopping back on the beauty blender train. This one's okay. I realize I'm talking about a beauty blender while using another brand one. It's a little bit too big for me. I feel like it's way too big for my face. If it was smaller, it'd probably be a little bit better. Well, I guess I'm a 150 buff kind of gal right now. I lost some color because I haven't been outside running. It's been way too hot in Toronto. I'm not running in this temperature. Okay, for bronzer, I'm going to be using my Too Faced Unicorn Tears bronzer, mostly because it's got a rainbow on top and it's really cute on the inside. This might be a hair too dark for me right now, but oh well. And then for blush, I'm going to be using this one by Tarte. It's that birthday sample size in the shade Party. Just a fairly neutral pink color for me. Not too pink, like it's a bit of a tawniness to it, which is nice. And then for highlighter, I'm using another Tarte one. I haven't used this in ages, but it was one of my favorites for a really long time. This is the Spellbound Glow Rainbow Highlighter. I mean, it's not really a rainbow, but this color combination together is really nice. I mean, it's more of a like silvery, oh, cat hair? Yeah. Silvery icy glow. That's just really nice. Which is funny because looking at that, you would not expect it to be silvery icy, but it is. Okay, that's face done. I'm gonna do my brows and we'll come back and finish up with the lips. Okay, brows are done. The one thing I added, which I forgot to do when I was doing my eyes, was I added some white liner with the Makeup Forever Aqua XL pencil in the shade M16, just to my lower waterline. I wanted it to sort of replicate the white on top. So for lips, I want to keep it relatively neutral pink. So I'm pulling out the Too Faced Peach Kiss lipstick in the shade Bridezilla, which I think is going to be neutral enough to work, but have like a kick of pink to it. I don't want it to be overboard though, so I'm going to blend this out with a brush, but try to keep it a little bit soft. There we go. I'm just gonna blot that out. Perfect. Okay, so that is it for my QUO Pride look. I clearly could not hack it with those lashes. I think they're fun. I think I already said this. They're fun in theory, but for me, I want a black lash. Also, they just came a little bit too high. The fact that they were like crusting over top of my eyebrows, those would have tickled me above my eyebrows, which is a little bit weird. Anyway, this palette, quite pigmented. I mean, I only used it through my crease, but you can see the color payoff is really quite good, so I really liked that. I think it's nice to see something colorful by QUO. For a long time, my kind of complaint with them has been that they tend to stick to very neutral, safe type colors in their eyeshadows. So to see something that's actually vibrant is really nice. All right, so I'm gonna end it there. Thank you so much for joining me for, I think it was week 65. Take care, stay safe, and happy Pride Month. Bye.